The strange thing about memory is not that it fades. It's how it fades. Slow, quiet, invisible, like a river wearing down stone. You walk into a room, pause, you stop. Why am I here? A name slips away. A story breaks in the middle. A detail disappears right when you need it most. Most people accept it. They say, it's just age. But what if that's wrong? What if your brain is not weakening, but waiting for something simple? Something almost no one is taught, because hidden inside your brain is a system. Precise, powerful, and deeply misunderstood. And today you're about to see it differently. Not as loss, but as control. Because the truth is, most memory problems after 60 are not about forgetting. They're about how you remember. And the first trick doesn't look like a trick at all. Trick #1: the attention switch. Look at your hand, really look at it. Lines, texture, movement. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you paid attention like that? Because memory doesn't start with storage, it starts with attention. And here's what most people miss: your brain does not remember everything. It filters. Hard, like a guard at a gate. If something feels unimportant, it never gets in, gone, before it even begins. That's why names disappear. That's why details vanish. Not because your brain is weak, but because it never saved them. Think about that. You can't lose what you never stored. And here's the twist. As we age, this filter becomes stricter, more selective. It protects energy, but it costs memory, unless you flip the switch, the attention switch. A simple act, but powerful. When you meet someone, pause, look at their face, say their name slowly, not once, but twice. Now connect it. John with the deep voice, Maria with the bright smile. You're telling your brain, this matters. And suddenly it listens. This one shift changes everything. Because attention is the doorway to memory. Miss it and nothing enters. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that leads to something deeper. Because attention alone is not enough. There's another layer, hidden, stronger, and almost no one uses it. Trick #2: the strange connection. Imagine this: you need to remember a name. Let's say Mr. Baker. Simple, easy, and yet tomorrow it's gone. Why? Because your brain hates boring. It ignores the ordinary. But give it something strange, something unexpected, and it locks in. Instantly. So instead of Mr. Baker, picture this: a man covered in flour, laughing, bread rising behind him. Now it's not just a name, it's a scene. Your brain loves scenes. It remembers images better than words, stories better than facts. That's why you remember movies from years ago, but forget a name in seconds, because one has emotion, the other does not. So here's the trick: turn everything into something unusual. Names, numbers, tasks, make them strange, even ridiculous. Because the stranger it is, the stronger it sticks. And something interesting happens. Your brain wakes up. It leans in. It pays attention without effort. And memory becomes easier, not harder. But there's a hidden danger here. Because sometimes even strong memories fade. Not because they're weak, but because they're never used. And that brings us to the third trick. Trick #3: the forgetting loop. Here's something surprising. Forgetting is not failure, it's part of the design. Your brain deletes to protect itself, to stay efficient, to stay sharp. But here's the problem: it deletes too soon, unless you interrupt it. There's a moment right before something fades, a small window. Miss it and it's gone. Catch it and it strengthens. This is called the reinforcement moment. But you don't need to know the science. You just need to feel it. That moment when you think, I might forget this. That's the signal, that's your chance. Repeat it. Say it again. Use it. Within minutes. Not hours, not later, now, because memory grows with use, not time. Most people wait too long. They trust later. And later never comes, but if you act early, you lock it in, like carving into stone before it hardens. And suddenly, things stay, names, details, moments, longer than before, but something else is happening behind the scenes, something even more powerful. Because your brain is not just remembering, it's predicting. Constantly. Quietly. And that leads to a trick almost no one talks about. Trick #4: the expectation effect. Have you ever noticed, when you expect to forget you do? And when you believe you'll remember you often do? That's not luck, that's programming. Your brain listens to your expectations, it follows them. Like a path already drawn. If you say, my memory is bad, your brain agrees, it stops trying. It lowers effort. But change the signal even slightly. I'm getting better at remembering, and something shifts. Subtle, but real. Your brain leans forward. It searches harder. It holds longer, because now it has a reason. And this isn't about positive thinking, it's about direction. Where attention goes, memory follows. But here's the part most people miss. Expectation alone is not enough. It needs fuel. And that fuel is something you use every day, without thinking, without noticing. And yet it may be the most powerful memory trigger of all. Sound, voice, rhythm. And what it does to your brain is something most people never realize. But once you do, you'll never listen the same way again. And that's where this gets interesting, because the next trick doesn't just improve memory. It changes how you experience everything, but we're not going there yet. Because first you need to see something small, something hidden, something that's been happening your entire life. And once you notice it, you'll understand why some memories stay forever and others disappear without a trace. Pause, and more importantly, how to control it. But that is where things begin to shift. And what comes next changes everything. A gemstone doesn't shine at first. It looks ordinary, rough, dull, but under pressure with time it transforms. Your brain works the same way. Not fading, refining, but only if you know where to look. Because most people search for memory in the wrong place. They try harder, push more, and get less. But the real power is hidden in something softer, something quieter, something you've used your entire life without realizing it. And it begins with sound. Trick #5 the voice lock. Think of a song, any song, old, familiar. Now listen closely. You don't just remember the words, you hear the voice, the tone, the rhythm almost perfectly, even after years. Why? Because your brain loves sound patterns. It stores them deeper, stronger than plain words. This is called auditory encoding. But forget the term, focus on the effect. Sound creates anchors, invisible hooks, that pull memories back. So here's the shift: stop reading silently, start speaking. Softly, clearly. When you learn something, say it out loud. When you meet someone, repeat their name. Hear it, feel it, because once it has a voice, it has weight. And weight makes it stay. But there's something even stronger. Because sound alone is powerful. But when you combine it with something else, it becomes unstoppable. Movement. Trick #6 the body memory. Watch someone tie their shoes. Fast, effortless. No thinking, just movement. Now ask, do they remember how, or does the body already know? This is the secret: your body remembers differently. Deeper, longer, stronger than thought. That's why you never forget how to walk, or write, or open a door. Because it's not in your mind alone, it's in your system. Your muscles, your patterns. And here's what most people never realize. You can use this for everything. Names, tasks, information, add movement. Even something small. Tap your finger, gesture with your hand. Walk while repeating. You're telling your brain, this matters more, and it listens. Because now it's not just thinking, it's doing, and doing locks it in. But there's a deeper layer still. Because even strong memories can fade if they're not connected. And this next trick changes how everything links together. Trick #7 the chain effect. Look at a necklace, each gem connected, one by one. Remove one and the whole chain weakens. Your memory works the same way. It doesn't store things alone, it builds connections, links, paths. That's why random facts disappear. But stories stay forever. Because stories are chains. One idea leads to another, and another. So instead of remembering things alone, link them, create sequences. Simple, clear. For example, milk, keys, phone. Don't repeat them separately. Turn them into a scene. You spill milk on your keys while reaching for your phone. Now it's connected. Now it flows. Now your brain can follow it. And here's the secret. The more links you create, the stronger the memory. Because now it has multiple paths. Lose one, another brings it back. This is how powerful memory works. Not by force, but by structure. And suddenly everything changes. Names stay longer, details come back faster. Moments feel clearer. But there's one final truth most people never face. Because even with all these tricks, something still decides what stays and what fades. Something deeper, quieter, hidden in plain sight. It's not attention, not sound, not movement, not even connection. It's something else. Something you feel before you remember. Something that decides, this matters, or it doesn't. And once you understand that you don't just improve memory, you control it. But here's the problem: most people never notice it. They experience it every day, but they don't see it. It hides in conversations, in quiet moments, in the space between thoughts. And right now, it's happening again. Pause, because there's one more layer, one more shift, that turns everything you've learned into something far more powerful. But that is not where this ends, it's where it begins. And if you missed it, you'll keep searching, for something you already have. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to be the first to know when we post more useful videos. Click on the bell icon.